Bueno, estamos acá con un invitado internacional, el señor Josh Mandel, que ha trabajado durante muchos años en Sierra Entertainment y en Sega. Y bueno, nos va a venir a hablar un poco acerca de su laburo en esa época, en los 90, en la empresa haciendo toneladas de aventuras gráficas. Y bueno, vamos a aprovechar e entrevistarlo un ratito. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How are you? Having a good time in the expo?
I'm loving it. This is my first time at in Argentina, actually, and I am loving Buenos Aires, and I am so excited by what's going on here. I had no idea until I started to prepare for this that there was anywhere near this level of excitement and energy going into the adventure game industry.
A lot of fans here in adventure games. They are huge here. A lot of small developers are working with adventure games. Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your talk, about Sierra, your experiences, what you learned or had fun with.
Well, I'm going to be talking almost exclusively about Sierra, and I had an advantage, I think, that when I started at Sierra, I was already a big fan. And most of the people who worked there at the time, and most of the people that I worked with, had been there since the early days. So for them, it was maybe just another job. But for me, it was really kind of a dream come true. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was awestruck by, you know, Ken and Roberta and Al and, you know, everyone. So I'll be talking about how I ended up working for Sierra, what got me here, because it's not the usual career path. I started off in comedy as a comedian for 10 years.
Were doing stand-up, no?
Yes, I was doing stand-up for 10 years. And so I'll talk about that. And I'll talk about some of the experiences and things I learned about what it was like to work with some of these designers and to design games myself finally, and the most scary day of my life, which was when we finished Freddy Farkas, which I had put a year of blood and sweat and tears into, and then you're never sure if it's going to have bugs, right? So I'm standing at a window and I'm watching them go down the assembly line, packing the boxes, and I'm biting my nails thinking, this is going to be in people's hands in 24 hours. What am I going to read on the bulletin board?
Or not?
Yes, are they going to like, or are they going to start saying, it blew up, I can't play it, I got, you know.
It broke my computer.
Exactly. You have no idea what it's going to be. And it was the most nerve-wracking day, thing I've ever experienced. I wouldn't have missed it for $1 million, but I wouldn't do it again for another $1 million.
Cool. And what are you working right now? Are you working on anything?
I am working on several things, most of which I'm not actually at liberty to talk about because of NDAs. But one of the things that is a little bit different for me that I just started on a couple weeks before I arrived is the Sci-Fi Channel, which is owned by NBC, is interested in doing some web series. And I'm working on potential web series for them. So that's a very exciting concept, but a little far afield.
Nothing more.
Right.
That's cool. And you've been working with Sega as well. It's been more recent work. Is there anything new that you learned while working at Sega? What's the experience?
Sega was a fascinating experience, but not for the reason I thought. We ended up, I was there for the launch of the Dreamcast, the build-up to that, assembling software and so on.
And the flank later on.
Well, I left shortly after because the management wasn't greenlighting any of the games that we had in development. They were not being greenlit at all, and there were political reasons for that I don't want to go into. Had absolutely nothing to do with the quality of the games or anything like that. It was more of a
That was Sega Japan, or
it was Sega of Japan. I was in America. I was in their San Francisco offices, but it was the tensions between Sega of Japan and Sega of America that resulted in my spending a long, long time there without coming up with anything to show for it.
So it was tough, a tough experience.
In some ways tough, and in some ways very easy.
Well, you've been working for many years with adventure games, well, King's Quest, Space Quest, Larry, all those series that we love here and all over the world. Well, there has been a revival in a way of adventure games. There have been remakes, Gabriel Knight, Tex Murphy, well, Tim Schafer returning with all his adventure games.
I think there was a remake of Leisure Suit Larry too, but I'm not sure.
No, you didn't work on that. Yes, I forgot that.
No, that's all right.
And, well, what do you think? It has been mainly thanks to Kickstarter, maybe. What do you think about all that?
I thought the Kickstarter experience was very instructive and incredibly difficult. Probably one of the most tense experiences of my life. The time when when you're live on Kickstarter and every minute you're hitting refresh to see how fast the money is coming in or not, and whether you're going to make it or not is really tremendously stressful. And everyone I know who's been a part of it has said, oh my God, I'm having nightmares. But you got to give it credit. It is very definitely responsible for the resurgence in adventures.
Yeah, and how are you seeing the adventure games of today? The new adventure games, are you liking them?
I think they're they're perhaps more imaginative than they used to be. I see them exploring whole new genres, but I still miss the higher level of interactivity we used to have with the parser. I know that's an old argument that's never going to be settled.
Look at, yeah, that stuff.
Right. Yeah. I still crave that. Right. So I like to play interactive fiction sometimes because that's a small, very niche little.
Like what? What have you played?
Oh, just little text games that people come up with.
With Twine, maybe that stuff.
I'm sorry.
There is a program called Twine that's for making.
Oh, they have. Okay, I haven't made any of my own, so I haven't.
There's a world there for you to explore of interactive fiction. Well, thanks a lot, Josh. We are waiting for your talk, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. My pleasure, and I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say because I have no idea.
You can check out some of the games, maybe.
I've already seen some that brought a tear to my eye. They were so cool.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.